Transport in animals refers to the movement of materials, such as oxygen, nutrients, waste products, and hormones, throughout the body. Transport can be internal as well as external. The internal transport is the movement of materials within the body, for example circulatory system. Whereas the external transport refers to the movement of materials outside the body, for example locomotion. There are different transport systems in animals, for example, the circulatory system, the respiratory system, the nervous system and lymphatic system. Here's a comparison of open and closed circulatory systems. An open circulatory system is a type of circulatory system found in some invertebrate animals, such as insects, crustaceans, and mollusks. In this system, the circulatory fluid called hemolymph bathes the organs directly and is not confined to blood vessels. It is characterized as having no closed network of blood vessels. The hemolymph flows freely through the body cavity. There's no distinction between blood and interstitial fluid. The oxygen and nutrients diffuse directly into tissues. The waste products diffuse out of tissues into the hemolymph. The components of open circulatory system are heart, hemolymph, body cavity, hemocoel, ostia. The closed circulatory system is the one in which blood is always contained within vessels as found in man. It is characterized as having network of blood vessels, arteries, veins, capillaries. The blood is confined to vessels, separate from interstitial fluid. The heart pumps blood through vessels. The oxygen and nutrients are exchanged through capillary walls. The waste products are removed through capillary walls. The components of closed circulatory system are heart, arteries and veins, capillaries and blood. Here are the open and closed circulatory systems of invertebrates and vertebrates. Let's begin with open circulatory system first. The main components of open circulatory system are heart, hemolymph, hemocoel and ostia. Heart. It pumps hemolymph through the body. Hemolymph. It is the circulatory fluid containing nutrients, oxygen, and waste. Body cavity, hemocoel. It is the space where hemolymph circulates. Ostia. These are the openings in the heart that allow hemolymph to enter in the heart. The open circulatory system has no closed network of blood vessels, which means the blood flows freely through cavities since there are no vessels to conduct the blood. The invertebrates, as they lack structured blood vessels. The hemolymph flows freely through the body cavity among them. The invertebrates also do not have distinction between blood and interstitial fluid, which means that the components of blood and interstitial fluid intermingle, leading to similarities in their composition or roles in fluid balance and transport within the body. In invertebrates' open circulatory system, the oxygen and nutrients diffuse directly into tissues, which means they have hemocoel, the fluid, which circulates freely in the body cavity, bathing the organs and tissues. They also have tracheal system for oxygen delivery. In insects, the waste products diffuse out of tissues into the hemolymph, which means the metabolic waste generated by the cells is transferred directly into the fluid hemolymph that circulates throughout the insect's body. This is due to the generation of concentration gradients, where substances move from areas of higher concentration in the tissues to areas of lower concentration in the hemolymph. So, the open circulatory system works as the heart contracts, it pumps hemolymph into the aorta. The aorta branches into smaller vessels, which eventually open into the hemocoel. The hemolymph directly surrounds and bathes organs, supplying nutrients and oxygen to the organs. The oxygen and carbon dioxide are then exchanged directly between hemolymph and organs. This hemolymph collects waste products from organs and transports them to excretory organs. It then flows back into the heart through open-ended vessels or lacunae, small spaces. Now, let's learn the closed circulatory system. The main components of closed circulatory system are heart, arteries and veins, capillaries and blood. Heart, which pumps blood through vessels. Arteries, which carry oxygenated blood away from heart. Veins, which return deoxygenated blood to heart. Capillaries, which allow exchange of oxygen, nutrients, and waste. And finally the blood, which is a circulatory fluid containing oxygen, nutrients, and waste. So, in closed circulatory system, there's always a network of blood vessels, arteries, veins, capillaries to transport the blood throughout the body. This organization allows for higher pressure and efficient circulation. As the blood is completely confined to vessels, the blood and interstitial fluids completely remain separated. And there's no mixing of both of the fluids. This separation facilitates controlled and efficient transport of blood, allowing for better regulation of physiological processes. In closed circulatory system, there's a completely manufactured pumping device, the heart, which pumps the blood through vessels to the entire body. These vessels carry blood away from and towards the heart. The substances pass through the capillary wall by diffusion, filtration, and osmosis. Oxygen and carbon dioxide move across the capillary wall by diffusion. Fluid movement across a capillary wall is determined by a combination of hydrostatic and osmotic pressure. Waste products, such as carbon dioxide and metabolic byproducts like urea, diffuse from the cells where they are produced into the interstitial fluid. Since concentration gradients exist, these waste products can then move into the capillaries, where the concentration is lower. So, having an open circulatory system has some advantages such as organisms requiring less energy for distribution, having better regulation of body temperature, and having no blood pressure. The disadvantages, however, are an open circulatory system requires a low metabolic rate and is not feasible in larger animals. Whereas, the closed-circuit design of a closed circulatory system makes it possible for the organism to control where the blood is flowing with more precision and more efficiency. The closed circuit also creates a larger amount of pressure, which allows the blood to travel farther distances.